We are 7 days away, Falcons fans, from that season opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So here's what I need you to do. Spam those score predictions down in the comment section down below what you think the final score is. And once you do that, hit that subscribe button and join all the other Falcons fans that want to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. Time to rise up and throw down on today's episode because I'm giving you my starting lineup predictions for the Falcons versus the Buccaneers. Now, I'm not going to waste my time with Tampa Bay's starting lineup. I'm going to give you what I believe the Falcons are going to roll out with. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be your stereotypical 11 on 11. All these offensive and defensive packages are fluid now in the NFL. Gone are the days where you have your key 11 and that's it. It's a constant rotation of players. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Let's start with QB1. Michael Penix Jr. This is his team now. We knew this. This is obviously why you drafted him with that eighth overall selection. Man, I cannot get words out today. In that last year's draft. This is his team. It is clearly now his ability to lead this team forward and see where the Michael Penix era in Atlanta takes us. Let's move on to the running backs. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgier. And here's where you see your very first kind of fluidity in all of this. Because it could be that in one specific set of packages, you bring out Tyler Allgier. It could be that you go with your stereotypical running back one, Bijan Robinson. All of these are going to be fluid. Because if you imagine Michael Penix goes out on one play and throws a 9-yard slant route, well, then the next play you might bring in Tyler Allgier, and he might be the first running back to take a snap. Do you see what I'm saying? So all of this is fluid, but make no mistake about it, Bijan is clearly your number one, with Tyler Allgier being your number two. But it always kind of flows in and out. Let's go with your tight end. I feel like this is a stereotypical more, you do just have the one tight end and then there's everybody else. Kyle Pitts, obviously. I don't think we need to talk too much about Kyle Pitts outside of the fact that I believe this is the year that he has to showcase what he's made of. You have to show us why you were taken 4th overall, because the rest of this tight end depth chart is known for its blocking. Kyle Pitts is your wide receiver style tight end. You know what I'm saying? So I look at Kyle Pitts and I say, if there was ever a year to showcase your ability and your relationship with your quarterback, this is the time to do it. You've got a young quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. who throws a beautiful ball. He's clearly gelled with you out through all of the offseason and the preseason. Now it is time to showcase who you are. So this is the year that I believe Kyle Pitts breaks out. I think 1,000 yards is definitely on the table. But you let me know down in the comment section down below. Is this the breakout season or is this the decline season if he's going to stay the exact same? He's also got to find the end zone way more than he has. All right, let's go to the wide receivers. First one, Drake London, clearly. Now, I'm going to list 4 wide receivers on this list. You're going to see here in just a little bit who I'm talking about with that little asterisk by his name. But Drake London is obviously your number one wide receiver. Not too much else to say about that. He's amazing. Let's go with Casey Washington coming in at number 2. And the reason I say Casey Washington is because if you go back to the very start of training camp to the point that we're at right now, Casey Washington has been sung glowingly about by this coaching staff. Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson alike. They clearly see something in this young man. And the reason I have him as a starter is because right now, at the time of this recording, Darnell Mooney might be back at practice, but we don't know his status for week 1. So clearly, Darnell Mooney would be your wide receiver 2, but if he's not able to start, then you've got to go with Casey Washington, because that's who Raheem Morris has been telling us is going to be the opposite of Drake London. Then, of course, Ray McCloud. Duh. You got to have Ray in there. And I feel like this 3-person or this 3-wide receiver tandem between London, Washington, McCloud, or London, Mooney, and McCloud is clearly the best 3 that you would have outside of or in this Atlanta Falcons wide receiver room. And then, of course, I have to put, like I said, Darnell Mooney in there with an asterisk by his name, and that little asterisk is, again, we don't know his status yet. So this could be that if he's ready to go, You slide him up to that number 2 spot, and you slide Casey down to that number 4. At the time of the recording, we don't know if he's going to play week 1. That's just the spot that we're at. Morris has been asked multiple times about everything. We still don't have an answer. So it feels pointless to dwell on it any more than we already have. Let's go to the offensive line. We're just going to kind of rifle through these really quick until we get to that last one because we already know who it's going to be. Left tackle is going to be Jake Matthews. At left guard, Matthew Bergeron. At center, Ryan Nuezil, first full season of starting after Drew Dahlman took his talents elsewhere to the land of the Windy City in Chicago. And then, of course, Chris Lindstrom at right guard. And then your right tackle position being Elijah Wilkinson. Caleb McGarry out for the year. Storm Norton, who could have been that swing position, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So Elijah Wilkinson, in my opinion, has to step in and be that unbelievable right tackle blindside protector for Michael Penix Jr. and really hone in on that zone blocking scheme that Zach Robinson runs there in Atlanta. Do you agree with my Falcons offensive starter projections? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section down below. I feel like this is a pretty good list. But if you disagree with me entirely, that's entirely fine as well. Now I'm going to get into here in just a second my defensive offense, or not defensive offenses. I told you, words are hard for me today. Defensive starter projections. But first I have to tell you about my friends from HelloFresh. You may have heard of HelloFresh before, but not like this. They send chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients to your home. But this summer, they made their biggest menu upgrade yet. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. It's bigger. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. You can now choose from up to 100 options each week, including seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. It's also healthier. You can feel great with an even healthier menu filled with high-protein and veggie-packed recipes. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies included. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals and a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals and a free item for life. I'll have all of that in the comments and description of today's video. Defensive starters, Brandon Dorlus. I think this is really the opportunity for Brandon Dorlus to set that edge, right? That interior defensive pressure. That's what I'm looking for. I think last year you got a small little taste of what he's going to be capable of. I do think he finds his way into the starting rotation this year. I think he's going to be leaned on heavily to set the interior pressure and become that style of anchor. Ruke Orhorhoro also. We knew Ruke was going to end up starting. I feel like this Falcons defensive line has completely upgraded itself, including the edges, who we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. And your last defensive line starter is David Onyemata. These 3 right here, like I said, I feel like this is going to be your 3-team rotation for that defensive line because obviously now with the invention of the edge position, you're going to see those 2 outside linebackers, those edge linebackers, come in and swoop in to make that 5-man front. Big sophomore season, like I said, for Dorlus. I think he has the chance to set a lot of interior pressure. I really do. I am very high on Dorlus. I can't wait to see exactly how he stuffs the run because that's what I'm going to be looking forward to as he establishes himself, like I said, as that anchor. Let's go to the edges. Of course, we're going to start with our first man. That'll be Arnold Ebiketie. And Ebiketie is also one of those like hybrid. He can play down with his hand on the ground, but also stay up as an edge. You can keep him at both. I have him as an edge right now. I think it's completely okay for you to have him on the defensive line as well. It just depends on where you truly view him as a player. His 2024 season I thought was really good. He's got a much higher pass grade than he does a run grade. But I think with the additions now of Jalon Walker and James Pearce Jr., Arnold Ebiketie's window and his ceiling goes way up because of all the different angles that you'll see the 2 rooks have when they go after the quarterback. It's going to leave a lot more opportunities for Ebiketie to succeed. Then, of course, the newly acquired free agent, Mr. Leonard Floyd. I also think he starts technically over the likes of Jalon Walker and James Pearce Jr., but don't kid yourself, they're going to get in as well, frequently. That's why I also have them in as defensive starters, because I think what you're going to see from Jeff Ulbrich is a rotation, again, of all four of these guys in different packages with different stunts. It's going to look fluid, constantly rotating in and out, and that's what keeps defenses on their toes. If you get predictable with how many guys or who the guys that you're sending at the quarterback, that's when defense gets stale, and that's not what you want. So I'll ask you, who's going to have more sacks their rookie year, Jalon Walker or JPJ? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If I had to put my money on it right now, I think more tackles for loss is Jalon Walker. I think more sacks is James Pearce Jr. Let's shift back to the linebackers. I've only got two that are going to be starting as your middle linebackers or they're middle linebackers, right? Because it's a completely different position right now. You get your outside linebackers than your middle linebackers. Caden Ellis, obviously, number one. And then Divine Diablo, I also have starting as well. I think these two are going to be very, very important in keeping their eye discipline in terms of not only stopping the run, but making sure they have like a QB spy. So this is going to be a very, very good linebacking core unit. These two are definitely going to have to survey the middle of the field. Let's go to the defensive starters at cornerback. A.J. Terrell, again, pretty obvious. Mike Hughes, also pretty obvious. And here's your first little screwball, Billy Bowman Jr., who has clearly earned the starting spot over the likes of D. Alford. Now, Billy Bowman is a unique player. We've talked a lot about him on the show, played safety in college, and last year's numbers, while they weren't outstanding, he did have an unbelievable 2023 season where he highlighted by 6 interceptions at the University of Oklahoma. Billy Bowman Jr. has the speed, athleticism, and the versatility to play at nickel cornerback. I am very, very high on Billy Bowman Jr., and I'm on all aboard the hype train. Can't wait to see what he's got. The safeties, again, only 2. This is pretty easy to kind of pick apart here. Jesse Bates, and then, of course, Xavier Watts, who Raheem Morris went out and said has earned that starting spot. Another player I'm very high on, considering I am a Notre Dame fan. I know you guys hate that. You guys hate that I back my college. But you know what? Hey, this is my guy. This is a dude that I'm so happy got drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. Cannot wait to see what he's able to do. He had a great tackling grade in the preseason. Maybe not nearly as good in coverage and maybe not nearly as good in run stopping. But I do believe what you're going to see is that hyper-aggressiveness that he was known for at Notre Dame. And then, of course, your special teams, because that wraps up the defense. Younghoe Koo, Bradley Pinion, Liam McCullough. Kind of hard to not have those guys as your starting, because there's only 3. So there can only be 3. You see what I'm saying? Unless you were to bring up Lenny Krieg from the practice squad. But Younghoe Koo's job to lose at this point. Do you agree with my defensive and special teams predictions? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, I'm all for a healthy debate. I want to know if you disagree with me, and I want to hear why, because then I can get down to the comment section and we can go back and forth. That's going to do it for us today, Falcons fans. A reminder to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Get down in the comment section and spam those comments. And as always, rise up, get ready, and be cool.